Hey everybody, Keith and Ryker Ross here, and we have put together a series of videos from this last year's hunting season. So we had a mission, right, buddy, this year to get your first deer, and we planned on getting a buck, right? And I had maybe mistakenly, right? I promised Ryker at the beginning of the hunting season that he was going to get a buck, didn't I? So
Yeah.
it may have taken a few more hunts than I had hoped, but Ryker eventually got his buck, didn't you, buddy?
Yes, I did.
So one of the things that I think is often perceived when watching hunting videos is that you go out, you're kind of out there for a short period of time. You get an opportunity to shoot an animal, you shoot it, you do the pictures and you're done, right? Because that's a lot of the hunting shows that have been in like the short form, very brief overviews and whatnot. So what we wanted to do this time was something a little bit different. So we're kind of going podcast style here and wanted to provide some commentary as we went through the hunting season, all the different hunts that we went on. I think Ryker hunted definitely more than 30 days with me. I don't remember exactly how many. I think we did something like 10 hunts, something like that. Ryker is really a trooper. He spent a lot of time hunting with me this year. So, started out by us really needing to get our gear together, figure out what was all the equipment that he would need to be successful hunting, making sure that he had a chance to test that equipment and get used to it before he was in a real life hunting situation where he's, going to be taking a shot on an animal. But also that everything functioned correctly and whatnot. So we did previous videos on the 6.5 Grendel that we purchased. Nick did his videos, and we've already got a video up from his daughter's 146-inch buck, which she was able to take pretty early in the season. And knowing her dad, I mean, he's one of the best hunters I know, so that's not surprising, right? But for Ryker and me, it took a little bit longer this year. But we ended up settling on this 6.5 Grendel. We're using the bog death grip. That's your tripod, right? The thing that we're putting the gun in. And how many hunts did we take that on?
More than 30.
All of them. Yeah. So this is like Ryker's setup. So everywhere we went, we had to make sure that we could get the bog death grip set up so he could take a shot. You'll notice sometimes when we're in some of the like elevated wood blinds, he'll actually need to sit in my lap to be able to see up out of the window to take a shot. And then when we're in either ground blinds or some of these prefabricated blinds, they've got windows that are a little bit lower that he was able to take the shot standing, which is the way we practice. You'll see in this upcoming shooting range video, we had to go through figuring out what sort of headgear to get. We got him some gloves, a face mask as things got colder. We figured out that we needed to have walkie-talkies after Ryker got sick on a hunt, and I had to go get the truck, which was about a half a mile away while he sat in the blind in the dark, right? So just all these things we figured out as we went. And, I think not only could this be valuable for just anybody that's new to hunting, you'll learn a lot of things here that will apply to an adult just as well as a child. But then, if you're already an established hunter and you're trying to figure out how to get your kid into it, that's really, what the endeavor that I went on, quite frankly, inspired by Nick, initially putting together his video for the bog death grip. I didn't even really think that somebody at Ryker's age would even be able to go hunt, right? And after kind of seeing the setup, right, the weight of the gun was the biggest barrier, in my opinion. And with that being solved by the bog death grip, if you're able to hunt, in scenarios that will allow for something like that, really opens up the doors. So Ryker was late in his 5th year as we started this season, and really started to try to get him an opportunity on an animal. And then by the time that he got his buck, it was actually the 6th birthday week, right? Which was really cool. Okay, we're going to go ahead and jump into the first video now. This is Ryker at the shooting range. You'll see that, we again wanted to simulate exactly the environment that Ryker would be hunting in. And so we are using the bog death grip. We had to shoot it from the table that they had set up though. So you'll see we've just kind of expanded the feed out on the death grip and set it up on top of it, but it was a close enough simulation.
Nice shot, dude. You're about 3 inches to the right. That was a really good shot, though. So you got a bullseye the last time. That one's just 3 inches to the right. It's at 100 yards. Out here shooting with the new 6.5 Grindle. Good job, dude.
You weren't happy with that 3 inches to the right. You wanted a bullseye. That's a really good shot still, is what I was trying to explain.
All right, let me take a look. Dude, another bullseye, son. Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Bullseye,
Good
yeah.
job, Ryker.
Good job, dude.
I went bullseye.
You like bullseyes.
You're ready to shoot, okay?
So you'll see I'm using my Vortex Razor spotting scope there. So you said you accidentally moved it.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to reacquire your
Right, and
target.
so
don't
just
touch the
like
trigger
how
until
you'll
you're
see
ready
in
to
one of the
pull
later
it.
videos, Ryker
your
lost his
finger
target
up
in his
above it.
scope, and he needs to learn how to reacquire that target in his scope. So this is something that we practice even later on in the season, right?
Did you find it? Yeah?
Yeah, so you're able to
Okay,
find
go
it
ahead and shoot
there.
when you're ready then. I'm ready to fire when you are, okay? Bullseye, dude.
Bullseye.
I think the sight was just off. You're shooting a little bit high.
You're trying to
Okay, calm down.
fight me
Hey,
at
we're
the
at a
shooting
You're
range.
cool. All right, dude, what do you think? There's 2 definite bullseyes right there. You got a bullseye right there. Pretty tight groups at 100 yards for 6 years old. There's mine. We saw that the almost 6.
I'm 5 and 5.
5 and 5, 6. Okay.
Call me 5 and 5, 6.
5 and 5, 6. Okay.
You're 5 and 5, 6 years old, not 6 was what you were telling me. So next up, we've got some of our initial hunt footage for the year. And another challenge when trying to figure out how to get Ryker into hunting was like, well, where do I take him? So I have, historically publicly hunted for the last 10, 12 years. And he's not even old enough to apply for the youth hunts in Texas. As you can see with that bog, pack it in multiple miles and set it up in a tree stand or something, which is what I normally do when I'm whitetail hunting in public land. What I ended up doing was finding a couple of additional opportunities. One was a lease that I just found on a website that I was able to secure. The second one was a hunting club, and what it did was give us access to a few different ranches. It was actually really designed for families and those sorts of things. So that's where a good portion of these hunts occurred as well. So this is one of the properties that we have under the membership. So we'll go ahead and hop into the content here. So initially on the drive up, Ryker, you were asleep, unfortunately, but I saw this giant axis buck on the way in, and this is free range in West Texas. So there's a view from the balcony on the property, just gorgeous place. And it was right before Halloween, so Ryker was in his Halloween pajamas here.
Time to get up. You ready to go hunt?
Yeah.
No
All right,
hesitation.
Let's go, dude.
I like that, buddy. Goodbye. It's the fastest I've ever seen you get out of bed. So we heard some turkeys calling that morning, and I have a Primos app on my phone, and so we just decided we weren't turkey hunting, so we didn't have a turkey call, and I just wanted to see if we could get them to come in. So keep in mind that the electronic calling in many states is not legal. Be careful about doing this, but in Texas you can. So we did get some turkeys to come out.
That's too far to shoot.
Some of these properties are using feeders, right? So this is a stand that we had over a feeder. So they're out there eating corn.
But there's 2.
Yeah, there's 3 of them.
We can shoot 3 turkeys.
You wanted to shoot all 3 of them.
Yes, I do.
Move over a little bit so I can pull the curtain back though. Pretty cool, huh? They're right there, aren't they? I know. I think it's all you. Yeah, they're leaving.
It was neat. We were going to see a lot of game. There's a bunch of turkeys right there.
Do it indeed see well.
I heard about them.
The porcupine.
Yeah.
They've got quills that'll stick into you and they're like impossible to get out.
We can shoot it.
No.
Shoot it.
Not the bull.
Huh?
That's gonna
He's just eating
be
some corn.
impossible because if you're
Porcupine's leaving.
gonna touch it, that's gonna.
Yeah, well, you can shoot them and you put them over a fire to burn their quills off before you touch them. There's Ryker glassing with his monocular out the blind there. I counted the number of times you said shoot it. I think it was like 15. We'll have to see.
Hey, stop it. I was right to everything.
Okay, we just saw our first deer on this hunt. It was a white-tailed doe that walked by the 100-yard feeder. Unfortunately, it's still bow-only season right now, so we couldn't take a shot on it. So we're really waiting on an axis or a black buck.
Oh, the black buck.
Anyway, we've got about 40 minutes left to hunt here, so we're just like trying to get ready because the turkey have eaten all the corn down there, so that whitetail that came through was only there for about 30 seconds, so we're not going to have a lot of time to get ready for a shot. So Ryker's like sitting up here in my lap ready to go. Hopefully we get one more shot, something we can actually take a shot at.
So we ended up deciding at the end of the hunt to go do a little bit of spot and stalk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which at the time, we would have probably tried some spot and stalk sooner because we just were not seeing much at all on this trip.
No.
But I wasn't sure how to get the bog death grip with it. But as you'll see, whenever I published the hog and coyote hunt that we just went on the other day, I got a strap for my AR-15, and I actually just left that bog death grip strapped onto the AR-15 really tight, and I held the bog and just let the AR-15 kind of hang over my shoulder, and it wasn't too bad. We went a couple miles, and I carried it the whole time, so.
I had to stop a little bit.
To go around the bull that was trying to kill us.
It was trying to kill you. You told me to stay next to a tree and shove in there.
I told you to hide behind the tree and the boulders if the bull tried to attack us. So, look, we're doing the spot and stalk out here. As you can see, I just kind of find a trail, make sure that I'm downwind of anything so that they don't catch my scent. Really, that's the most important thing of all. Actually, I prefer to have a little bit of wind on a spot and stalk. That helps cover your sound a little bit, because unless you're gonna strip your shoes off and creep in, with your socks, there we are checking the wind. It's gonna be very hard to get around and stuff like this without, being heard. But if you got some wind cover, I've actually been, very successful in being able to stalk up on animals like this. So in Texas, pulling your boots off, especially in a property like this, unless you're closing a very small amount of distance, probably not advisable because there is just cactus everywhere. But there are other states that you can do it. Also, as you see, some of the foliage in some of the areas is a little more green, which makes it hard. Usually if you get down low under those branches and look for legs, that's what I usually look for. Then I'll find some sort of a place where I've got, see there's all the cactus right there. But I'll find a good spot, like some sort of a clearing where I can get a shot. Now, especially if I see something moving, I'll kind of just go parallel next to it until there's a clearing. I'll set up right there and get my shot. In fact, I just got an axis this last week in that way. Me and Ryker at the end of our little day-and-a-half hunt that we've got out here in West Texas. We finally saw one deer this morning, but it was a white-tailed doe at the feeder about 100 yards away, and it's still bow-only season. So I do have my bow here, but she was too far to take a shot on and not legal for Ryker to shoot. So we just did a little hike down this creek bottom to see if we could find something. Moving into bed down, a little bit of a last-minute Hail Mary.
My dad saw a lot of tracks
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, we saw
So
tracks.
we thought we could go down there and see if we can shoot anything.
Yeah. Anyway, did you have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, look, we already have 2 more hunts booked this year, okay? And at the end of this month, you'll be able to shoot whitetail with that rifle, okay? If it was, so it's still October, if it was November right now, you'd have a whitetail on the ground right now.
you'd have a doe shot. So you don't always take home an animal when you hunt, but you learn a lot, okay? And it just takes patience and persistence. You'll get one later this year.
Bug.
Okay. Don't worry about the bug, bud. Hey, look. Hey, come on. Just takes patience and persistence, but I think we'll get you one for sure later this year, all right?
I can tell you were really
We got,
focusing on
at least 2 more hunts. We'll book some more. That was just all we could get on the calendar at the time, but we'll get more hunts in. You had a good time? Dude, you hunted a full day with me yesterday. That's awesome.
You put in a lot of full
fuck,
days
dude.
that year, this last year.
I love you, buddy.
I don't think that I told you this, but I later found out that property is what's called an M.U.L.E property, meaning that it's managed land, and they get separate tags for shooting deer, and that you actually were allowed to shoot whitetail with a gun. So if it's a regular season property, it would have been bow season only, but I found out after the fact that Ryker would have indeed been okay to shoot that doe. So,
Dairy, why would
hey, we're always learning stuff about hunting, whether it's changing our tactics, whether it's rules of the landscape, whatever. All right, come on. Hey, focus on what you did get, right? Because you ended up getting a nice buck later on this season. This next hunt, we got out there and there was a bit of a mix-up in where we were going to be able to hunt at. And so we weren't able to go out the first night that we got there, but we knew what unit we were going to be in. And so we just did some scouting. We got the Vortex Razor HD spotting scope set up on our carbon fiber tripod there, and I gave Ryker some lessons on doing some glassing and whatnot. So that's what we did most of that evening. And then we went out the next morning and were able to get the hunt started. Sure enough, like first thing that next morning, we had a doe come in. And so Ryker, you can see him sneaking up there to rifle to get ready to take a shot on this doe. You see her?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you ever were able to see her in the scope though, were you?
No, I was not. I thought they were like under the feeder.
So you get a good shot.
Because that little black thing was like slipping on the
Yeah, well, they were behind the grass there. And I wouldn't want you to take a shot with that grass in the way anyway, because you can't see their vitals, you can't see their heart, you know, their armpit where you're supposed to shoot. So.
Here, they not even know. And you don't know where their heart is because they're under that grass.
Okay, and then there they go. But what I also think happened here was that the wind shifted. So there was, when you can see all the grass out there, you can't even see it moving. But whenever I did my wind indicator, I was actually able to see that the wind had shifted a little bit, or the thermals or something, and started, I think, where they just caught a little bit of our scent. And I think that's what kind of put them on guard initially. And once this doe started to get super paranoid, she wasn't having it. She never came in.
She's walking around back there just saying, okay. I think she smells us, or she sees the blind, and it's making her scared, so he's gonna let her get comfortable. Just think. Yes, work down. She was looking real nervous. They might not come in.
So those were the old headphones that we had for you. And I realized on this hunt that they weren't really going to work, because here we are. We already had a little bit of our scent blow towards this doe, and she got nervous. And so now when I'm trying to talk to you, you can't hear me because you've got sound dampening headphones on. And that's when we ended up switching over to the Axil headphones. You remember that? We're going to take an opportunity to show some gear from time to time as we go throughout these videos. And this is one, because pretty much as soon as we got home from this hunt, I was looking for an alternative, and we actually recorded a review video on it.
Okay, Ryker and I are out here hunting this morning, and as you can see, we were looking at getting him a deer with his 6.5 Grendel setup here that we've done some reviews on. But one of the things that I had done was I bought him just some children's hearing protection, and they were pretty crappy. Another thing that I saw was every time he had his headphones on, and I was telling him to do stuff, he couldn't hear me, and so we were making a lot of noise just trying to, give him instructions and whatnot. So I ordered these Axil Trackr Blue headphones here, hearing protection, and so they are Bluetooth enabled. And so kind of the nice thing is he's able to turn them on. You can see they've got a microphone on each side, so there's a microphone right there, and there's another microphone on this side. There's the volume control right next to it, but also that button right there. If you see this button, what that button does is when you turn it on, it actually allows you to connect up to Bluetooth. So right now, he's able to watch his iPad. He's streaming the Bluetooth to his Axil hearing protection. He can hear me because there's a microphone on both sides of his head, so I can whisper at him and he can hear me whenever I'm telling him to get ready to shoot. And it will protect his ears when he finally does get a shot with the rifle here. So overall, I mean, they look really nice. They're fairly low profile, for what you get. And the quality seems really good. I've tried the headphones on as well. The audio sounds very clear. The sound dampening is really good as well. So yeah, I'm very impressed with them. How do you like your headphones, dude?
Good.
What's your favorite part about them?
Everything.
Everything. Being able to watch your shows. You can hear your shows now. Yeah. They keep your ears warm too, right? You were telling me.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to say? Okay. Good job, dude. You've been very informative.
Ryker, you sure didn't get very much feedback on the headphones out there in the blind. You liked them all right?
Yes.
Is there more than one word that you'd like to say about them?
I like that I can hear my shows. I like that I can hear everything. I like that I can hear you. I like that I can hear sounds. Like,
Okay. So you like that you could hear everything with the one?
yes.
Yeah. They feel like super high quality too. I was really impressed whenever we took them out of the box. Next up is going to be a review on the CamelBak backpack that we got Ryker. And this is actually one that we did a video on earlier last year as well. But Ryker really liked that I used a hydration bladder. He wanted one himself. And I wanted him to be able to carry around us on snacks and iPad and that kind of stuff. So take a look at the CamelBak. It's worked really well for us.
We're about to start making our way out here, and so I just wanted to show the CamelBak pack that we got Ryker. I did a little short on this, review on it last year, or back in April or something like that, but it's still turned out to work really well. As you can see, he's got it packed completely full of snacks right there. He's got his iPad and face mask shoved in there, and then he just keeps his headlamp right here as well. But he's got his little monocular attached here, and it's worked really well for him so far.
One of the things that I really like, which I'm actually considering getting a CamelBak for my own pack now, just the hydration bladder for my Kuiu pack, is the on-off switch for it. It's like a blue thing that you kind of on. The one on my pack is a twist, and it's really not very easy to do while I'm in the field. Ryker's pack, to open it up and get water out, super easy. You can see we just put a little bit of camo tape around the blue hose on it there. But anything else you want to say about your pack? You really like it, right?
Yes.
Anything else that you like that we missed?
But one thing I don't like,
What's that?
that I have to put I have to put on all these clothes on and this pack and everything.
So the thing you don't like about the pack is that you have to carry it?
Yes. Carry everything. I have to carry so much.
You don't carry that much, dude. You look at, I'm like your pack mule. Are you kidding me? I'm bringing your heater. I'm bringing your tripod.
I don't know
I'm bringing all the camera gear.
I don't know
I'm
if
carrying the
that's
rifle.
true. I don't know if that's true. I do not know if that's true.
It's totally true.
And now it's not.
Okay.
I bring all that.
Okay, all right.
All that.
Okay, so the next video, it's a video where we got a turkey. Now, our goal was not to shoot a turkey. We were out deer hunting, and actually Ryker was on my archery lease with me, and he had been dying for something to get shot. And it was just a few days before Thanksgiving, so we decided to go ahead and shoot us a turkey. So here we go. So here Ryker is learning how to use gates. Anytime we're out in the daytime and there's no lock on it, he's getting the gates for me now. There's him climbing up into the elevated blind. Looking awesome. Thought that was a cool view, so I took that video. You see my Millennium ground blind chair in there. Super, super comfortable. We weren't there that long. We had these turkeys come in. I think it was about, what, 7 all in all turkeys that came in. And so we identified the most mature one. And after Ryker said, shoot it like 5 times, I was like, all right, we'll go ahead and take one. They were out there for a while before we finally ended up deciding to shoot one. So not the hardest game I've ever pursued here in terms of shooting them at the feeder or whatever, but it was really good eating.
Watch this. This turkey's gonna fly and pop his heart open.
Yeah, and that's a Matthews Triax bow that I'm using there, and with the Garmin Zero sight, which we've got a review on the website for, and I just absolutely love that thing.
Because why do you love it?
I love it because it has a built-in rangefinder. So a lot of times you'll have to use a handheld rangefinder, figure out how far something is, and then you set a pin on it. With this thing, you just pull the trigger, measure the distance, and you're ready to go. It just drops a pin right exactly where it's supposed to be.
What's this? See that right turkey is right on got the wing poofing.
Here we go, we got it here. So you can hear the top bow limb on my bow. I've never hunted out of one of these manufactured blinds like this. I'm 6'4", right? So I got a pretty wide wingspan myself, and I just underestimated where that bow was gonna go when I pulled the trigger there. I don't know there's a lot I can do about it. I mean, I was full length in that blind.
Oh, wait, what did I say?
I can't believe I can't believe we shot something and you gave me some knuckles. You were excited.
3 turkeys are huge. I can't believe that. 3 turkeys are huge. We should shoot another.
Okay, wants to shoot another one.
Well, so that's how. Well, there was one that behind.
I know there was a few more. And then, not the greatest pictures here. Ryker's still learning how to be my photographer, but
yes.
anyway, we were going quickly on it. Oh, and then you remember this? You drew this at school a week after we shot it. I thought that was pretty cool. And then we got it mounted, and so he was a very mature turkey. Ended up having a 10.5-inch beard, and we got this hung up where?
In that room.
In your game room, right next to your coal block, right?
Yeah.
So.
But it's a little bit higher. Like it's. Here's my turkey and here's my coal.
Yeah, that's right. So the next hunt, we've actually only got a couple pictures from because it was a very short hunt. You know, we got out there and had planned to hunt a full weekend, and unfortunately, Ryker got pretty sick. And we had driven out to West Texas about 5 hours each way, and he started telling me about midday that his stomach was really bothering him. Right? You remember this?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so I asked Ryker, like, okay, is it bad enough that we need to go back to the camper, or can you hang in there? And he just kept telling me, no, I can make it. I can make it. I remember it got dark at, 6 o'clock, 6:30, something like that. Asking him around 5 o'clock, are you good? You gonna make it? And he would tell me yes. And then I remember the last time he told me, Daddy, hey, my tummy is really starting to hurt. I'm like, okay, we got about 30 minutes before dark. Can you make it? And he said, yes. About 10 minutes later, you were sitting there and I'm looking for a deer and I just heard, and I look over and you just go, like, threw up all over the place. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was freaking out. But one of the, here, we got another picture from it as well.
Don't show them.
Well, no, it's not. This is it. This is the only two pictures we got. It was you laying down and you progressively got worse and you were laying in a ball before you got up and threw up. But you remember afterwards, I had to go get the truck. And I said, hey, the truck's about a half a mile away. Do you want to walk with me or do you want to wait in the blind? And here you are, it's sick, it's dark now, it's cold. We're at a place we've never been before, you had never been before. And it's scary, right? So he said, yeah, Dad, go, but please hurry. So I was running to the truck basically to try to get back to him. And that's when we decided to get some walkie-talkies. And we'll talk about those walkie-talkies here after a bit as well. This next video, we're back to really going after either pigs or doe, one of the only things that we can shoot on this property with a gun.
Okay, come here.
So first thing in the morning, right after the first light, we did have a couple doe come out, and so we are trying to get Ryker set up on there.
So there's two deer right there. You want to shoot the bigger one. Here, I got it in the sights right here. She might have moved. You see her? Look, can you see her? Okay, it's off safety. Forgot to put your headphones on there. You still see her?
And maybe I see that the deers are trying to
You still see her?
Yeah, she left before you were able to get a good shot, right?
But I don't think they left near a feeder.
No, so they walked off to the left. They were actually back there behind the trees. I was kind of glassing back over there for a while, and it looked like they were going to come back in, but I think they just decided to keep walking, right?
Yeah.
So I took that opportunity to get your headphones on because it was so early. We hadn't even got your headphones on and getting ready yet.
Just hang on a second. See if she comes back out.
This is one of the blinds that was too tall for you, so you were going to have to sit in my lap, take a shot.
Try to follow it if it moves, okay? Was your heart pumping? It's one thing to shoot at a target, but when you have an animal out there, sometimes your heart starts pumping. You gotta do just like what you do at jiu-jitsu when you get excited or whatever. You just gotta breathe.
You got to stay present with the shot process when your heart starts pumping. And so what we're talking about is Ryker does a lot of jiu-jitsu, and there are times that he'll get rattled or whatever, and we work on breathing exercises and stuff, right? Trying to think through how to control our breathing, right? Not just black out. So Ryker wasn't able to get his doe that morning, but we ended up moving stands for that evening, and he was able to actually get a shot at an animal. So take a look here.
Like I'm still in this one.
Yeah, so this was about an hour before dark. We were thought we were going to be taking a shot on some deer, but instead had a group of pigs come in, and it was out in a field next to where we thought that the deer were going to come inside to move the rifle very, very quietly. You can see the pig right there. See it?
Get on there. Get on there. I'm pointing right at one right now.
You can kind of see it at the top of this window running off here. See it up there.
Here, watch out, watch out.
So I saw it run off into that thicket at the back corner of that field there, and I was trying to get another shot off. We did a bit of searching for that pig, but it was getting dark and it was extremely thick area. And we also, didn't want to push all the deer out of there. So we actually saw, as we were shining the spotlight off through basically like a thorn bush hole, and a skull of a hog back there. And so I thought a little bit of a consolation prize for Ryker here would be if I crawled back there and got him the head and the tusks and everything, right? So that's him with the picture of it afterwards.
We went ahead and got set up for a doe shot this morning, so I felt pretty good, like we're gonna get Ryker's first deer this morning.
It's the last hunt before the buck. So Ryker again glassing with his little, I've got a Leica monocular that I used to use bow hunting a lot that I gave him. You can see we got the Mr. Buddy heater. We actually went to a different version of that heater because the base kept falling off. But here we go. This is evening hunt, and we just got a doe starting to come in. So as that doe's coming in, I'm telling you to stand up very, very slowly. In fact, we didn't have some of the video footage before, but I mean, you were coming up a couple inches at a time, and I was like, okay, stop. Okay, go. Okay, stop. You had a cough too. You were trying to keep your cough from going. Did you hear them? That was you going. You had a real bad cough, but there was the deer. See it up there? Right above the arrow.
Moving.
Mm-hmm.
She's about to walk right in front of you. She's moving. You see her right over there? Right over there. Okay.
Yeah, I screwed myself like.
She's standing right over here. I'm gonna take another shot. There's a big buck back there.
Yeah, I shot her. I was aiming for the place you put it. So.
Like right there in the chest. Okay.
I think what you were telling me was that you ended up taking the shot right where I had put the scope, right? And then subsequently we practiced that I'm not going to be able to make that deer sit perfectly still on where that scope is, right? So we practice more around making sure that you're aiming right in that armpit.
Where did it hit you? Where did it hit you? Oh man, yeah, I can see it. Was your face really close to the scope or what? Were you holding on to it? Mommy's not going to be happy about that.
The mommy's not going to be happy about that. She wasn't happy either, was she?
I think you got her too, because she stopped right over here and was kind of standing funny. Deer don't normally do that unless they've been shot, you know, they will run off.
Where you put it, I shot her right there.
Yeah, good. We're just gonna wait a few more minutes before we get out of the blind, because sometimes they'll just lay down. You know, they'll lay down right back there, and it may take them a few minutes to die. And if you go out after them too quickly, then they'll jump and they'll run away, and it makes them a lot harder to find.
Another buck might come in.
Dude, there was a big buck back there. I was surprised.
And I think I shot her there. So, with a gun, it's going to be harder to see the blood.
What I was just talking about there, outside of mastering the wind, is probably one of the most important things that you can learn about hunting. Is you cannot go in immediately after the shot unless, well, really, period. If you see the animal go down, you can see it in your binoculars or whatever. You might could go in 20 minutes after the shot or something like that. If I don't see the animal, if I feel really good about the shot, I'll wait 30 to 45 minutes at the least if I am not able to see the animal. And then typically I'm just going straight to where I shot it and trying to find blood to get some sort of idea of where I hit it. You can tell by the color of the blood. If there's frothy blood, usually will indicate that you hit it in the lungs. There's lots of different ways to tell.
Without finding the blood is like she could be anywhere, you know.
So we were having trouble finding blood where she was standing, and so we went a little bit further. So sometimes I'll just where I saw them run to see if I can pick up the trail. Because sometimes, especially, I find there's some blood, so we finally found it. But sometimes I'll find that, particularly with a rifle, that the blood just doesn't show up right away. With a bow, it's pretty much almost always right there.
There's blood right there.
Unless there's not a pass-through and you hit it high on one side. We blood tracked this deer for a while.
It's right over there. So we need to find blood on this side of the mud because she stopped right here. She probably came over here to get a drink of water or something. Here, blood right there. Huh? Yeah, good. Find it.
Finding your own blood.
You can see
That's
how
cool.
she ran around there.
Primos also makes a blood tracking light that works pretty well as well. I've got it, I just didn't have it on me in my pack at the time. I think it might have been in my truck.
Here, let me, I'm gonna start a track in Onyx real quick so we can, or when I said I see her, I'm gonna try to take another shot. I think this is where she was. I saw her stop.
So this is another thing that I'll use is Onyx. Particularly if blood starts to get sparse, I'll start to drop flags and then drop a track line, which you can then later use. There's like a compass mode that drops a line and you can see, you know, the direction, line it up with your track, and it'll give you a pretty good indication of what direction the animal's running. Very rarely do I ever see them. They just completely turn around, and that it does happen, but usually they're intentional about their direction.
Okay, here. Right there. This area right here. I'm gonna mark this spot.
Another little tip, rather than carrying around that full roll of flagging tape, what you'll see that I've got there is a pin cap that I've just wrapped some around, and that pin cap will get me enough tape for 5 blood trails or something like that. I don't have to refill it very often. We did not want to push her, so that's kind of what I'll do. You saw when I was looking at it through binoculars, you know, it kind of thinned out after that. And so a lot of times that's where, you know, I'll drop a marker, drop a pin, drop a flag, all that kind of stuff, and just back out. So this one, we ended up backing out. It was pretty cold. We just went to the camper and stayed the night and went back out early that next morning. We ended up tracking her for over 200 yards. She crossed a river that had about, I don't know, 6 different trails. We tried to grid search them. We did not find any blood on the other end of the creek that she crossed, but you know, we spent another 3 or 4 hours the next day trying to find her, and we were never able to find her, so we had to let her go. One thing I want to show you before we move on to the next video is this book by John Giannini. I don't know how you say his last name, so apologize, John, if that's not correct. But it's called Tracking Dogs for Wounded Deer. And if you read this book, you will be a much better blood tracker yourself, and probably better than anybody you know. They use these wire-haired dash hounds to do blood tracking, and actually my dog Hank is UBT certified, but he's about 13 years old now, and so he's not doing too much tracking work anymore. But just a lot of really good tactics and strategies and stuff that you probably would never even have heard of. For example, how does the dog know when a deer has changed directions? Well, an animal like a deer, you know, they leave scent droppings and it fans out like a wake. And so they're able to tell the direction based on the wake. Almost think of like how a wake behind a boat, you can follow that wake and figure out where the boat has gone. So just really neat stuff in it. So I highly recommend this book. Here we are on our last of the videos, and this is just kind of my setup in the ground blind. So I talked a little bit about the Millennium blind chair earlier. That's it right there. I've also got a thermarest seat cushion and then a little bit of a lumbar support. I do carry around a lot of crap. You know, even whenever I'm up doing 10 miles a day in Colorado, my pack is much heavier than most people's packs are ever going to be. So here we are the first evening.
He might not be old enough.
Right before dark, we had a pretty nice buck come out. Initially, we couldn't get the best eyes on this rack. He was kind of behind some trees and some tall grass. And then by the time he came out where we could have actually gotten a shot on him, too dark at that point.
Still out there, I just can't see it. I can't see him good enough. It's too dark.
It was also raining. Pretty much the whole time we were out there, we were slipping and sliding around in that clay. Just coated the tires of my truck, but we were kind of hunkered down in this ground blind the whole time. Ryker got a Nintendo Switch for Christmas, and so he was playing that. And then he wanted to practice his rattling hair, right? Like a pro. We did a little bit of spot and stalk, trying to navigate around them cactus.
Oh, I hate cactus.
I think you got into a cactus on this trip.
Yeah. I was trying to look for a pin that ran into cactus.
Yeah. Found a little goat one.
Yes. Which I put on me. For my next goat.
You can see our Rocky Talkie there. We were walking back to the truck and he was just holding my hand. I was like, man, I need to capture this. All right, so that's the intro. And now we're gonna switch over to the final footage for Ryker's 10-point buck that he shot. One of the things that we did from in between the last hunt and this one was we went back to the range and we practiced getting in your proper stance, right? Making sure the butt of the rifle was on your shoulder, because that was one of the things that we noticed when you scoped yourself in the prior video, right? Was that the rifle, the butt of the rifle was not on your shoulder. We were literally doing drills, right? You remember that in the blind? I'm gonna pause this real quick, but in the blind, remember I would tell you that I was just gonna say deer randomly, and you wouldn't know if it was a real deer or if I was just testing you. But I wanted you to get up, get in your stance, go through the process, right? And then remember I would say deer, and you would go up, and I would then say, okay, now target the top of that fence post or target that tree or whatever. Remember, so you were having to practice moving around and acquiring the target in your scope. So these are the kind of drills that you can do with your kid that I had really wished that I would have done initially with Ryker. I mean, we went to the shooting range. We talked about how quiet that he had to be. We practiced his stance and all those sorts of things. But actually reproducing the scenario, I think, gave him the reps to where he was super confident. He got right into it whenever the real shot opportunity came on this buck. So let's take a look.
Get on the gun and find him in your sight. Wait for him to turn sideways before you pull the trigger. He's kind of got his butt facing us right now.
I got some Axil wireless earbuds for hearing protection as well, and you saw a blue light up there. That's the only thing I don't like about them. I put some electrical tape over that light.
Okay, you see him now.
There's your buck. There you go.
Yeah.
See him in the camera?
Okay, he's
Yeah.
out now. Take the shot when you're ready. Okay, here.
Scope was fogging up on me.
Okay. All right, get in there. Get your stance. Get his butt on your shoulder. Aim at his armpit and pull the trigger when you're ready. Yeah. You got it. saw him run down into a ditch right here, and I never saw him come out, so I think he might be down in that ditch. We're gonna wait a few minutes. There's no hurry.
Yeah, we still have some time to find him later.
Well, the good thing is that you shot him in the morning and not the night, so that we don't have to like track him in the dark. Yeah. Dude. Yes. I'm pretty sure he's dead. Give me a hug. I'm proud of you, dude.
We might even get another one. You're already wanting to shoot another.
All right, me and Ryker are out here in West Central Texas. He just shot his first buck, and we're about to go track it. I think it dropped dead about 50 yards from where he shot it down in a ditch. So we're gonna go check it out. You excited, dude? All right, let's go.
So here I'm just kind of stopping and glassing. I really prefer to get eyes on the animal before I go all the way in, just because I don't want to bust it out of there if it's still alive. Yeah.
I see him. He's right there. Yeah, right over here. Yep. All right, dude. Good job. Yeah, get down there with him. Yeah.
Dad, is this really one for shooting?
Dude, that's a perfect shot. You hit him right through the heart. That's a perfect shot. Good job, buddy.
I'm gonna be so excited that we got her a deer. Thank you for letting me shoot.
All right, here we are with Ryker's first buck. How do you feel, buddy?
Good.
Yeah, you worked really hard for this deer. That was about a 120-yard shot, and just like a perfect heart shot. He didn't run but 20 yards or something. So I'm very proud of you, buddy. That's awesome. There is an ancient tradition that I want to do with you here, okay? So I'm gonna put some blood on your face, okay?
Oh no.
Yeah, but this is part of it. When you get your first deer kill, you gotta both honor the deer and celebrate it, okay? So the first piece of blood goes over your eye, and that represents the sight that the deer has that you have to overcome. You know how good they can see, right? Okay, the next piece of blood goes on your nose. That represents the deer's sense of smell that you had to overcome to kill this deer. And then your other eye represents your skill and the tenacity that it took for you to overcome shooting this deer. So congrats, dude. I'm super proud of you. Here, go give me a hug, buddy. Come give me a hug. Good job, buddy. Good job. What do we got for dinner tonight, buddy?
Deer.
Deer. This is from Ryker's buck. We got deer tacos. He's just having straight deer meat because he's got to
Trying to
make
steal
weight
my
for his
tacos
jiu-jitsu
there,
competition tomorrow. And even baby Riley. Yeah, even she's having deer meat for dinner.
So that's it for Ryker getting his first buck. One of the things that I didn't mention was that was actually his birthday week. So the day that he shot the doe, he had asked me to take him hunting on his birthday, right? So we ended up going on his birthday. That's what we did on his birthday. Went out and shot that doe. That was on a Monday. And then we went down on this hunt. I think it was on a Thursday of that week. So he shot this buck on birthday week, the week that he turned 6 years old. And one of the things that we like to do on the way down to these hunts is we talk about life stuff, right? And so one of the life things that we often talk about is we're passing a lot of cattle farming operations down there. And, you know, I have nothing against farmers just in general. I think like they're the lifeblood of the world, really. Like, they're the last people in the world that you want to mess with is the people that, you know, grow your food, right? But to achieve the scale and efficiency and those sort that they do on these farms, you know, they've got to use farming practices where these animals are all corralled into one area, getting injected with a lot of like antibiotics and hormones and different stuff like that. And we'll actually pull over on the way out to the hunt when we're passing these cattle farms, and I'll explain to Ryker, like, hey, you see how all these cows are kind of packed in there, and that's how they live. They're not eating, you know, so much like natural food and everything. And then I'll take them out to where we're hunting. We contrast that. Granted, some of these properties have feeders and they're getting corn meat, and they're mostly grass-fed. All of them are free range. Right? So the buck that we shot, or that Ryker shot, was a free range buck. That's free range organic venison. It was very, very healthy meat. And I think that's an important part of our diet. We're pretty much obsessed with the meat, right, dude? It's like our prized possession is like gold to us, huh?
It's Michael, not yours.
Yeah.
Nine.
He's a little stingy with his meat sometimes. You know, you saw like he's watching shows on his iPad in the blind. I've had some people ask me how I can bring him out that much, or how he can join me on the archery hunts. A lot of the hunts that he joined me on this year weren't even hunts that he could shoot. They were on the archery lease where I was just bow hunting, and he just came because he wanted to be with me. He wanted to be out there hunting. He learned a lot. One of the things that we would do is play Monopoly on his iPad a lot. So we love to invest in real estate. And so he's learning about real estate investing, practicing his math skills, all those sorts of things. So turn this into, you know, a holistic, well-rounded trip and experience. But dude, you got your 10-point buck. Are you excited about that?
Yes.
Yeah. What's the most important thing you learned this year during the hunting season?
You have to overcome the deer sense of smell. Because you're smelly when you have a smell in your back.
You have to overcome the deer's sense of smell. I would say that you have to overcome in general, right? This is not an easy thing. Think of how many days we were out there. So, hey, I appreciate everybody for watching Ryker get his first buck. That big old, 8-point buck that you shot at 80 yards? Oh, it was a 10-point buck. 10-point buck he shot at 80 yards.
No.
What?
120.
120. Oh, that's right. But he made an almost perfect shot. And
No.
So,
Perfect.
a perfect shot. Okay. Well, hey, dude, if you're going to kill a deer for the first time, that's the way to do it. So give me 5, buddy. Good job. Thank you, everybody.
Goodbye.